Hello, and welcome again to this session of Cloud Computing. Malik by name. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you how you can create Azure Virtual Machine and how you can host a website on the Azure Virtual Machine. With Azure Virtual Machine, you can run a Linux or Windows server. Without much ado, let's dive into the screen to see how we can create the Azure Virtual Machine. So the first thing you want to do is to log into Azure account using portal.azure.com. The moment you're done, you search for virtual machine. So you search for it. You click on this, which is this first option, virtual machines. So it will take you to the virtual machine page. As you can see, this is a page where you can do everything about the virtual machine. Currently, I do not have any virtual machine. So what I will do is to come to create and select the first option, which is a virtual machine. So I click on it and it will take me to where I can start creating it. So on the create a virtual machine page, you have all these options like the basics, this networking management, monitoring, advanced, and task and review and create. So on the basic page, we have all these things that we are going to modify. First, you need to create the resource group name. Understand? Just click on create. Already I've entered mine here. So that's what I'll be using. Mine is going to be website resource group. Then you scroll down and enter other information like the virtual machine name. I'm going to call my website VM. Then my region, I will select this. We have several other regions, like Asia region, US, Europe, and a couple of other regions you can select. So I'm going to select this as mine. Then the availability options, you can leave it by default. Then you scroll down and leave everything here by default. Then since I am on a free tier account, I'm going to select the first option, but this is going to be for paid service. So I'll go with the free one for now. Then for the VM architecture, you can leave this by default. You can take this, with this option, you will be able to run with Azure Spot Discount, meaning it will help you to reduce costs. Or mind you, there's a catch to it. The catch is that if the resources you are using gets overused, the services might be stopped, which will affect your resources on your Azure account. So you scroll down and I'll leave every other thing by default. Then you come down to administrator account. In which this administrator account shows you how you want to access your Azure account. You can see here, you choose whether the administrator account will be username or SS keys for authentication. So for me, I'm going to choose a password instead of the SSH public key. So with the password, I will need to enter my username and a password. Then I'll leave everything else by default. Then under the import port rules, you have the allow selected port. Then the select inbound port, you have all this option. You have HTTP, which is port 80. You have HTTPS, which is port 443, and you have the SSH. So I will select this and this, but you can also select this to make it red. So the moment you are done with your selections, you just come down to next. It will take you to the disk page. So on the disk page, you have all these options. You might not necessarily need to do anything here, as everything will be set by default. You can leave everything as it is here. Then you scroll down and click on networking. So on the networking page, you have these options where you can make some modifications. Like already, you have this created for you as a virtual network. You can change it by just clicking on edit virtual network. You can change it to something to suit your desired name. So on the networking page, you have all these things that you need to do. Like the virtual network is going to be created by default. You have the option to change the name by just clicking on edit virtual network. Already I have mine as website VNet. Then the subnet, you can call it a name of your choice as well. Then the public IP will be assigned automatically if the subnet IP addresses. Then for the NIC network security group, it's going to be set to basic, and the public inbound port, you can make it to allow selected ports, as we have done initially. Then you can specify that your NIC should as well be deleted when VM is deleted, when your virtual machine is deleted. You can take it, then you scroll down and click on next to move on to the management section. In the management tab, you don't necessarily need to do much. You can just leave everything by default. But you can say enable basic plan for free. This will be applied to every VM in the selected subscription. So for now, you don't necessarily need to do anything on this section. What you need to do is just to click on next, which is monitoring. On the monitoring page, you have the option to set alert, for activities that will be occurring on your virtual machine. If you say add commonly used alert rules to get notified on important events happening on your resource. Events like maybe someone is deleting your resources, or to monitor resources usage. Maybe you have a rule to ensure that your usage should not exceed 80% of your resources. And the moment it's going beyond that 80%, alert will be sent to you. And the alert can be sent to your email, so you have a full control over it. Remember that the alert option is a paid service, so it's not something that you can set for free. If you want to set it, you need to pay for it. And it's also applicable to the health monitoring. How is your machine doing? You can see enable health monitoring for the virtual machine. Health monitoring is required for platform managed infrastructure and OS upgrades. So that's what the monitoring section does. So if you really want to go ahead with other service, you can take them, but mind you, you're going to pay for it. So once you're done, you click on the advanced tab. The advanced tab, also does not really have much need from your end. It's just that it has a section for you to customize certain activities, like you want to customize data on the selected image or user data, like what users are visiting your platform, what to keep log of them, and some other information about your users' data. This is where you can do the configuration, or you don't necessarily need to do much. You can leave everything here by default. Then the tag section, the tag is where you can create users for your resources. Those who will be assigned some roles. Like I am Malik, for instance. I can just say Malik tag. As a user who owns this platform, and I can call it a value of maybe, let's say Malik. I can still be the same name if I feel like. Then the resources I have full access over are like 14, which are selected by default. I will just leave them the way they are. Then I scroll over and I click on review and create. So the system will start validating all the information you've entered while creating the virtual machine to see if they truly align. So we're going to give it some moment for it to validate. So after some moment, the validation will be passed. You can say validation passed. So you can review everything on your own. In Microsoft term, you can see the name, all the details about the virtual machine you're creating, the resource group, the virtual machine name, the region, here are all the details. So if you find everything okay, or if you feel like there's something you need to modify, you just click on the particular tab to go and modify it. But if you find everything as provided looks okay on your end, you can just scroll down and click on create. So it's trying to create the virtual machine now. So after clicking on the create button, the details were finalized and the virtual machine has been created successfully. As you can see, your deployment is complete. It's showing the resource group name and every other details that you want to see are listed below. So you can just click on go to resources to view all the details about your virtual machine. Let's see, this is the name of the virtual machine website VM. Now that the virtual machine has been created, the next thing you want to do now is to connect it to a terminal so that it will give you the avenue to upload the website. So I'm going to come to connect and click on connect. It will then display all the details that will be required to connect your virtual machine to a terminal. And there's a particular terminal that's called a MobaXterm. With a MobaXterm, you will be able to connect your virtual machine to the terminal and then upload your website to the cloud. So here are the details that will be required to host my website on my Azure account using the terminal. This my source IP, which is this, then my VM IP address, which is this. This is one that is public, which can be used to access my website on the internet. So the SSH command, which is this. So you just need to copy it and keep it somewhere. So the next step now is to download our terminal and connect our virtual machine to it. And with that, we're able to upload the website to the server. So let's continue with that step now. Okay, now that we are done creating the virtual machine, the next thing to do now is to download a terminal which will enable us to connect the virtual machine and to upload our website to the cloud. The terminal we're going to be using is called the MobaXterm. You can visit their website, download it, and install. Then after installing it, it's going to give you an interface similar to this. With this interface, you'll be able to connect it and configure all the necessary settings for you to start hosting your website. So I'm going to begin by clicking on session. So when the session opens up, the next thing you do is to click on SSH. So with the SSH page, you have these options for you to key in your details. The first thing you do is to key in your remote host information, which is your IP, which is the IP of your virtual machine. The public one. Then you have to specify a username for it. I'll call it my username is this. Then you specify port 22. After entering those details, you click on OK. So the terminal will launch. You accept whatever information that pops up. Then it will require you to key in your password. So I have my password as so I enter. It's going to connect to my virtual machine on Azure. So I'll accept the dialog box that pops up. So here are the details. You can see this is my virtual machine name, my website, and website VM is the machine name, and here is my username. So right now there are certain things I need to do. First, I need to upgrade the virtual machine. This terminal, I need to update it and upgrade to make sure everything is working perfectly fine to avoid vulnerability, because when it's vulnerable, it becomes open to intruders or attackers who might hijack the cloud and do other necessary things. So to update it, I just type sudo. Okay, let me clear the screen first. I'll clear the screen. So I'll type sudo. Sudo means su, that is super user do. Then sudo apt update. It will update. You can see it's currently updating the server now. So it's showing me here that the package is up to date. You can see all packages are up to date. So let me clear the screen again. Then I type the next option, which is to upgrade, to make sure that everything is upgraded. So I'll type sudo apt upgrade. Upgrade. I say it's currently upgrading. all the necessary software that are installed. So it has finished installing. So what they also need to do now is to install a particular application called Nginx. With the Nginx, you'll be able to convert your virtual machine or server into a web server, because you can't host a website on your cloud if you do not have a web server. So with the Nginx, you need to convert your current virtual machine to a web server. To do it, we need to enter this code as I'm going to type it now. I type a sudo apt install sudo apt install nginx, then -y. Why I put the -y? After typing this command, it will ask me for confirmation if I want to continue. So I don't want to waste all that time trying to type the y again. So let me just type it now and let you know, yes, I'm okay with this command. Then I press enter. It's trying to install it. You can see dependency upgraded, installed. You can see the Nginx has been installed. So the next thing to do now is to check if the Nginx is active on the server. If it's active, then I can start to use it. Because my server has already been converted from a normal server to a web server. So I'm going to key in this command to check if it is active. I will type system ctl status nginx. So if I press it, you can see. So everything went successfully now. It's showing that the Nginx web server is active, which is what I show here. So let me clear the screen again. And continue. So we need to navigate to the web part. To navigate to it, I will just type cd /var /www/html. So this is a path. So to view the contents within that path, I'll just type ls and say currently we have a file called nginx index.nginx-debian.html. So we don't need that file, but that's what we need. We need to delete it and upload our web file to it. So to delete it, I'll just type the file name, which is index.nginx.debian. If I type it, as if I do ls again now, I see the file is not there. So I need to install a zip and unzip application that will allow me to unzip any folder containing some content. You understand? So to install it, I need to first of all navigate to the path and onto the home directory of my server. So let me first of all navigate. I'll type cd cd. Okay, I'm not the home part of my server. So let me clear the screen. Then to install unzip. Okay, so it's already unzip. To check if it is active, to check if an application is installed, is this apt list installed or save. So that's the application I just installed, and you can see it says list done. So the OSIP application is currently installed. So we are going to need this OSIP application to OSIP our web file code content, so that we'll be able to upload everything at once. So the next thing we're going to do now is to upload our website, which we have already done. So the next step will contain the step to install it and configure it and then have it running on the web server. So let's handle the next step. So to upload your web zip file, zip folder, this is a home directory of your server. So you click on home, you select your server name, which is this. You can see this icon, upload to current folder. You click on it and you go to your system and select the folder which you want to upload. So the moment you start uploading it, the progress will show at this particular section, tell you the progress where you are at the moment uploading it. Let's see the folder has been uploaded successfully. You can see this folder here. This is a web folder which I'm going to upload to the server now. To unzip the folder which you just uploaded, you type this command, just type unzip followed by the folder name. There's Kelly -1 -0 .zip. Don't forget to add your zip. Then you press your enter. So after unzipping it, it will show all the contents within it. So by the time you refresh this session, you're able to see the folder, which is this. So remember that this is a command you can use to unzip. To unzip it, you use this command unzip followed by the folder name then .unzip. If you press enter, it's going to unzip it. And if you want to check your content, just type ls and it will show all the content within it. Now we need to move on this folder to the directory, that will allow us to view our web content. So to copy your web folder to the part where your website will be located, you use sudo cp-r, then the folder name. This is my folder, which is this. So I'm going to copy it to this web part. So if I press enter now, it has been copied. So if I want to confirm it, I'll do change directory /var/www/html then ls. That's it. This is a web folder content containing all the content. It has moved all the contents in this folder to this particular part. You can see my web files, you can see the folders. So the next thing we're going to do now is how you can view your website on a browser. So let me clear this screen and move on to the next step. Now you can view your website using a dedicated IP address of the server. Now that we are done uploading the website using the terminal, the next thing now is to view the site on the browser to see how it looks. So we're going to require the IP address to set up. The IP address is what I'm going to type on this bar. Remember, we are using port 80, which is HTTP. So I'll do HTTP // then I go. So voila, here's a website fully uploaded. So if you want to use your domain to view the site, all you need to do is to log into your domain registration portal. The registrar will register your domain. You log into their portal and configure A records through the DNS section of your domain. By just entering the A record or the host name, you enter the IP address. Doing all those things will allow this website to show on your via your domain, because now here are the steps which we have used. We're able to create a virtual machine on Azure. We're able to use our terminal MobaXterm to upload our website to the virtual machine, and I'm able to view the website using the IP address. So here are the steps which we have covered so far. And till we meet again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow our channel. Thank you for now, and bye.